Hello, everyone. Thank you for checking this episode of Nerd Caliber. I'm here with Milkpinkk.
Hi.
And what are you going to showcase for us today?
So I thought we would talk about my Mipha from Breath of the Wild cosplay. I did about 2 years ago. So is that okay?
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
So tell us about the process of creation for that cosplay.
It was definitely quite a process because I consider myself as a casual cosplayer who rarely knows what I'm doing. I'm not like super talented. Like I don't know how to work with Warbler or anything like that. So definitely one of those people who can like just barely sew in a straight line and hot glue something. But I really wanted to do Mipha because I love Breath of the Wild so much. And obviously Mipha as a costume did not exist, and I don't think it still exists, like unless you commission it or make it yourself. So I reached out to one of my cosplay friends, known as Pepperoni Gal on Instagram, and she was super nice because I said, I love your costume, I want to like make one myself, do you have any tips? And she was so helpful in giving me so many tips on like how she made hers and like guiding me on the process. So I would say for Mipha, the biggest thing involved with it was just like drafting a lot of the elements I wanted, like what my costume like would look like. So I had to really like draw things, and a lot of Mipha was really just constantly like sketching and drawing and cutting out things, and then once you cut it and spray paint it and glue it all together, then it's ready. Because there's like a lot of jewelry. She's got a headpiece, a necklace, like arm cuffs, ankle cuffs. So it's just a lot of like cutting, drawing, painting, drawing, painting again, gluing.
Was
So
was it 100% Warbler?
no, so I made mine out of craft foam. I'm too scared to try Warbler. I bought a heat gun and I bought a sheet of Warbler, and I just never tried it. I'm too scared, even though I've watched tutorials how to do it. I think I would prefer like a friend to like come over and like show me, and then I'd feel probably more comfortable because it's expensive. Warbler's like $10 or $20 a sheet, so you don't want to mess up.
Hmm. So how difficult was it for you to create something that, as you mentioned, it wasn't really, you can't really buy it at a store. You've
Mm-hmm.
seen it in a video game, and
Yeah.
you want something that's like 2D, and then try to create a 3D version that fits your body.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult was that?
Um, it's a little difficult because I don't have like a mannequin or anything to my measurements. So a lot of things was just me knowing my own personal measurements, and like styles of things I know I look good in. Like I have bigger hips, so I chose like a skater skirt kind of style for the skirt because that's more like, you know, um, nice towards like people who are more curvy. Um, so yeah, it is a little difficult just because I don't have a mannequin. So a lot of times I would like sew something, try it on, look in the mirror, and then adjust as needed. So a lot of like pinning things onto yourself.
Oh, so you mentioned that you painted this.
Mhm.
What paint did you use? How did you choose to paint for this?
So all the craft foam pieces, like the jewelry, I would like prime it first with Mod Podge, and then the paint was just spray paint, metallic spray paint you can get in any like craft store. And then for her like scarf sash detail, that's just normal like white acrylic paint you can find for like $1 in any craft store. So it's nothing fancy, but I would say the spray paint probably costs the most. So yeah,
Okay,
it's about like $8 a can.
okay. Was this a very costly cosplay?
I didn't think of the total breakdown for the cosplay for crafts and everything. I would guess it probably cost me at least $80 to make for like all the materials, like the paint, the fabric, etc. So
Okay.
yeah, so I think it's about normal. It's not too expensive. It wasn't super cheap either.
Oh,
So
okay. And did it take you a long time to make it?
yeah, I would say it definitely took me at least I want to say at least 40 hours. Just because it was like really time intensive to like cut and wait for things to dry. I remember I was like spending about 3 or 4 days right before Colossal God. I was crunching that last week, so I was just cutting things and waiting for it to dry, and then painting it, and then drying it again. Yeah, so I was doing that for a couple days, just cutting, painting, drying. And then towards the last day, it was like assemble time for the jewelry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, what would you say from this whole process was the most difficult thing about making this cosplay?
Um, yeah, definitely just like the intricate jewelry pieces, like the headpiece, all the craft foam cutting, drying, painting. The sewing part itself wasn't too bad because it was mostly just a couple elements I had to make, like the shoulder pads and the fins, the sash and the skirt. So those are all things like I know how to sew basically, so those were fine. It was just the jewelry that was the most time intensive and laborious.
Oh, okay. Was this a comfortable cosplay to wear?
Overall, compared to other cosplays I've worn, it's just the most time consuming to put on though, because there are so many pieces. I think it takes me about 2 hours to get into Mipha. So, and I usually need help. My boyfriend always helps me. He like safety pins stuff on, makes sure everything's good to go. But overall, it's comfy because I'm not wearing heels. I wear flip flops so I can be barefoot. The skirt's comfy. The top's comfy. So yeah, I would say everything's really comfy. Actually, it's just like hard to get into
Mm.
sometimes.
Um, since this has so many pieces, is it difficult when you have to take pictures with it? Do you have to worry about posing or anything like that?
Once it's all on, I'm fine because putting it all on is the hard part because you have to remember where everything goes and make sure it's secure. But once you like are finished and you know it's all in there and in place, like you're fine. Something might shift a little once in a while. She has like a belt kind of decoration, so that sometimes shifts, or a fin might shift. But other than that, it's not a big deal. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you would have to do this cosplay all over again, what would you do differently?
Not crunch. Definitely not wait the last week to cut and paint and assemble the jewelry pieces. Probably start earlier, but I feel like everyone says they're gonna start early, and then you're like the next thing you know, you're like really going to town the last few hours. So yeah, start earlier. Um, Probably yeah, maybe get a mannequin. That would have helped.
For anyone that wants to see more of your work, where can they go?
They can definitely go on my Instagram. That's where I post all of my pictures of my cosplay. So I'm at Milkpinkk on Instagram. It's got 2Ks at the end. So yeah, you can go check it out. I don't
Excellent.
post all the time, but just whenever I have something to show, then I post. So
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about this cosplay. Fantastic job. And yes, to our viewers out there, thank you for watching. Please be safe and Happy New Year. Take
happy
care.
New Year, guys. Bye. Thanks for having me.